Today we are ranking every single member of the Bloodline in order of importance to the Bloodline storyline, dating all the way back to 2020 to now 2024 in the current iteration of the Bloodline. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even realize that we had 10 Bloodline members dating back from 2020 to now. And yeah, let's get right into it. Let's get into the rankings. So number 10 on the rankings for the Bloodline in order of importance is Tonga Loa. I feel like this one is pretty obvious as to why he would be at the bottom of the list in order of importance. From the moment that he debuted, he was just doing nothing but botching everything. It was straight botches. His first appearance in the WWE was when he botched pulling the referee out of the ring, trying to, mess up the finish of the match. And then later after that, he botched a low blow. I believe it was supposed to be to Roman Reigns. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Tonga Loa has just done nothing but do botches. Then he had the eye patch thing, which people feel like gave him charisma and made him funny. And the botch thing kind of became a character for him, and people just found it funny. But let's be honest, he is the least important member of the Bloodline storyline. Number 9, we have Tama Tonga, who's just always saying, yeah. Tama Tonga, I don't really got too much to say about him. I feel like these bottom two are pretty obvious. Everybody wants to know, obviously, the top members. But yeah, Tama Tonga is the first person that Solo Sikoa introduced to the new Bloodline after he kicked Jey Uso out, or he used him to kick Jey Uso out, right? So yeah, Tama Tonga was just the guy that Solo Sikoa brought in. And, he's just been there as somewhat of his muscle, but not his true muscle. You know who his true muscle is since he brought him in. So yeah, that's number 9 for you. All right, number 8. Now, to be honest, I actually had a big problem trying to create the number 8 spot for this video because, to be honest, man, I didn't want to do it. But Jacob Fatu is number 8. He is number 8. But man, I was so close to giving him that number 7 spot. And I could tell you why. And I might as well give you the number 7 spot while we're at it, because we need to talk about what I was going through here. Number 7 is Solo Sikoa. Now, hear me out. You're probably thinking, okay, why is Solo Sikoa so low on this list? 10 members, Solo Sikoa is number 7? Yes, but I got good reason, good explanation. Now, why I thought maybe I could put Jacob Fatu over Solo Sikoa and put him in number 7 was literally because Jacob Fatu is just the real enforcer. He's a better enforcer than Solo Sikoa ever was. He just feels actually dangerous. He makes you terrified. He makes you scared. And I'm telling you, he's going to be a huge star. I think everybody knows he's going to be a huge star. Everybody can see his aura. Even Solo Sikoa can see it. And he's honestly probably going to end up being bigger than Solo Sikoa. But there's a specific reason that I still gave Solo Sikoa that number 7 spot in regards to what has happened already. Obviously, Solo Sikoa is the leader, but it wasn't just that. That's not what did it for me. It was 1,316 days, right? That's how long Roman Reigns was champion. And he could not have done it, unfortunately. I gotta say it. He could not have done it without Solo Sikoa in this image that I'm showing you right now at WrestleMania 39. If Solo Sikoa does not give Cody Rhodes that Samoan spike at WrestleMania 39, we do not have a 1,316-day title reign, which is very significant going on for Roman Reigns and building his story and making the win for Cody Rhodes even more, big and historic as it was. So yeah, I got to give that number 7 spot to Solo Sikoa. I know a lot of you Solo fans might be tight that he's so low on this list. But look, man, you got to look at the rest of the Bloodline. We got some really important members. Let's get into number 6, The Rock. The Rock is number 6. Now, listen, The Rock was only involved in the Bloodline storyline for a few months. But the reason I put him, some people might say, yo, The Rock should be higher. Some people might say, yo, The Rock should be lower. Now, the people that say he should be lower will probably say he should be lower because he hasn't been around that much. He's only been around for a few months of the storyline and he disappears and he's been gone. And then he popped up one time at the end of the show and then he disappeared again, right? But when he was a part of the storyline, he was like the biggest thing there. He was the final boss. He created an amazing storyline, one of the best heels we have ever seen. So we cannot take that away from him. On top of that, it's just sheer star power. And we also know going into the future, the match that everybody wants is Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania. We know that is endgame. So you cannot say that The Rock is not important to the story. He's extremely important to the story. He would be higher ranked for me if he was more involved in the storylines, like more consistently. But I only put him down low at number 6 because he hasn't been around that often. But man, trust and believe by the end of this storyline, he might be proven to be the guy behind Solo Sikoa's entire bloodline. And 2, just the mastermind behind everything. And yeah, he's going to be the final boss, the final guy that Roman Reigns fights to end this entire bloodline storyline. So he's super important. He's just not around enough. Number 5. I feel like people gonna look at me crazy a little bit for number 5, but I gotta do it, man. And just please just hear me out, yo. Number 5 on this list is Jey Uso, bro. Jey Uso. And I know what you're saying. How Jey Uso? I think my list may be kind of controversial. It might be straight hot takes for this video. But Jey Uso is number 5 just because I feel like everybody on the list is just a little bit more important to the storyline that has occurred in the biggest moments of the entire Bloodline storyline. But don't get me wrong, Jey Uso is super important. If I have somebody this important, this low, that just proves how great the Bloodline storyline is, and it just proves just how great everybody in this faction is, man. But yo, shout out to Jey Uso, half of the greatest tag team of all time. I can't take nothing from him. I got nothing bad to say. I just got to say the other 4 people are just a little higher up in terms of the importance of the storyline. So with that being said, let's go on to number 4. Number 4 being the honorary Uso, Sami Zayn, bro. Look, I know you're like, oh, Sami Zayn above Jey Uso, you tripping, bro. Hear me out. Sami Zayn is in large part one of the biggest reasons that the Bloodline storyline was so big. And I hate to admit it, but I also love to admit it, actually. Because Sami Zayn did what he did, and he made everything funny. He made it amazing. He got Roman breaking character, Jimmy breaking character, Jay breaking character. He gave us the great Elimination Chamber moment against Roman. He gave us the great Royal Rumble moment when he hit Roman in the back with the chair. Sami Zayn is just a very integral part of this story. You cannot erase him. He's the only one in the story that is not Samoan or married into the family or anything like that. But he's the honorary Uso, and he is a part of the bloodline, and you got to acknowledge it. And that's why we're about to have him in the match for Survivor Series. Sami Zayn, man, hey, some people called the bloodline storyline like that was the greatest storyline of all time. And that piece, that segment, was in large part due to Sami Zayn. So we got to give him his credit where it's due. Number 3 on the list, we have no other than main event Jey Uso. Y'all, come on, man. You know that Jey Uso had to be super important. And I know y'all already hearing this and y'all like, all right, there's only 2 people left. And I feel like y'all know the 1 and the 2. But let's talk about Jey Uso. Roman Reigns' storyline does not exist without Jey Uso. This entire thing started with Roman Reigns beating the crap out of Jey Uso as his first rival as the Tribal Chief. His first rival is the Tribal Chief. He was his first challenger for the Undisputed title, the first challenger to start the entire reign. And he faced him in the first match, then he faced him in the second match at Hell in a Cell. It was an amazing match. It was an amazing storyline that you can't take nothing away from that. And then he got beat up by Roman, and he joined the Bloodline, and he was his right-hand man, and he did everything for Roman. And he was in there for so long. He was the guy that was going against Sami Zayn. When Sami Zayn joined the storyline, Jey Uso made it like a soap opera. He made it like, something like real entertaining for us, because he was the one person that didn't accept Sami Zayn for who he was. Now he's the one person that does accept Sami Zayn and that wants him back with the family. Jey Uso is so big, so integral to the Bloodline storyline, and literally it doesn't exist without Jey Uso. It literally cannot happen. He faced Roman in tribal combat, even though I know a lot of us didn't like how that match went. Either way, for him for the Ula Fala, he's just huge now, and everybody knows the Yeet movement. So come on, man, you got to give Jey Uso his flowers, literally, man. So come on, Jey Uso for number 3 makes perfect sense. Number 2. Now, I know y'all know who number 1 is, so why would you even, have to guess who number 2 is? Paul Heyman. Yes, the wise man. I don't think anybody else in this storyline, as much as everybody else are actual wrestlers and entertainers. Paul Heyman's an entertainer. He's just not a wrestler. But he's the perfect manager and the perfect wise man. He was the wise man for Roman Reigns. This all started even before the rivalry with Jey Uso when he won the title, right? Well, when Roman won the title when he was fighting Jey for it. This started when Roman Reigns came back and we saw him backstage and the camera panned off for Roman to show that Paul Heyman was sitting next to him before he had even gotten the Undisputed title. Well, before he'd even gotten the Universal title, right? Because it wasn't undisputed yet. This thing does not exist without Paul Heyman. It does not exist without the wise man. I think that's part of the reason that we're watching Roman Reigns now and he's continuing to crumble, because he doesn't have any wise man. The wise man was so integral and so important to him in this storyline. And even outside of the storyline, Paul Heyman has even said that, you know, the only person he wanted to work with was Roman Reigns. And man, did they do their thing. They got together. They created magic. It was perfect. It was perfect harmony, perfect symmetry, perfect whatever. It was just amazing. Paul Heyman, we miss you. Please come back onto the screen, man. Give the wise man his flowers, guys. And y'all know who number one is, man. Come on, y'all. Y'all, do I gotta say it? Do I really gotta say it, bro? None other than the original tribal chief, the only tribal chief, my tribal chief, your tribal chief. I don't care if you claim it solo. He's your tribal chief. It's Roman Reigns, y'all. Number one most important player in the Bloodline storyline by far. I said it back when we referenced Solo Sikoa. 1,316 days. All I gotta say is tell me when you're gonna ever see another run like that again in your lifetime. Let me know if you think you'll ever see a run like that again in your lifetime. So many great storylines, so many great matches. WrestleMania 40 against Cody Rhodes was amazing. WrestleMania 39 against Cody Rhodes, I loved it. People was mad that Cody lost, but I loved it. His WrestleMania, 38 match? All right, people didn't like him and Brock. But 37, they had him, Daniel Bryan, and Edge. That was amazing with the double stack pin. Like I said, he was going crazy on Jey Uso. Crazy storyline with Sami Zayn. He wrestled with Logan Paul. He defended the title more times than people realized at the beginning of his run. People only remember the back half and the fact that he wasn't defending as much on the back half. But that was literally because he had steamrolled everybody and he smashed them all. And obviously he worked out a better contract because he had earned that position and that right. And I also think people forget that Roman Reigns still lives with cancer and he takes medication for leukemia every single day. So that might play a role too into how much he wrestles and how much he appears, because he's taking care of his health, taking care of his family, making sure he can even appear for us at all. And I love and appreciate him for that. Yeah, man, I don't know. If you think anybody but Roman Reigns was going to be number one on this list, I don't know what to tell you. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. It was super fun. I loved this so much. Let me know if y'all want to see more videos like this, man. I really enjoyed it. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is Jay Athletic Gaming, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.